Hi everyone, this is Bill Straub with Modern Thirst. I'm here for another quick whiskey review for you. This is Pinhook Rye Whiskey, and just like our previous review, you may not be as familiar with this as some of the other more major label bourbons and ryes out there. But Pinhook is a sourced rye whiskey out of Bardstown, Kentucky, and it is a company that kind of plays off the horse racing theme of Kentucky. And in this case, Pinhook is the kind of practice of going out and buying a very young thoroughbred at a very cheap price and getting a really great deal on it. So each one of these honors a particular thoroughbred horse. In this case, it's bourbon and rye. It was 16.1 hands high, and I believe it's a Colt, dark brown. This is a 46.25% alcohol by volume, which is 93.5 proof. This is lot 1, so this is the first rye they've done. These are very attractive packages. I don't know if you can see it on the video, but we'll post some pictures of it as well. But they look very classy in the bottle. They have a nice wax finish on them. These are sourced whiskeys, as I mentioned, and it does say on the back of the bottle that it was distilled in Lawrenceburg, Indiana, and we all know what that means. And MGP Distillery is probably the largest producer of rye in the country. Some people will get a little disappointed when they see that it is MGP Distillate, but the reality is, in my opinion, MGP probably makes the best rye whiskey in the country. And there's a lot of variations between the ways that it's blended and where it's aged, how long it's aged, what proof it's released at. So there's a lot of things that really change the flavor up, even though MGP rye does have some kind of characteristic flavors that you tend to look for in it. They're very pleasing flavors, so we hope we'll find them in this as well. This is 2 years old, so it's not particularly old. We've tried some other ones at that age from MGP recently that haven't really been that great. We've had Ezra Brooks, for example, was kind of a miss, on my opinion. So we'll give this one a taste, see how it plays out, and see if it's one of the better options out there in the rye whiskey realm. Now this one cost me $37 at a local store. Again, there's not a ton of these out there, so it's not the easiest thing in the world to find, but by the same token, it's not super expensive, and it's not really that collectible other than the packaging, I guess you would say. But we'll give this one a try. I've never tasted this before, and hopefully I can get the package open. And I can't. That's some solid wax. One thing I do want to point out, you'll see a lot of reviewers on YouTube doing whiskey reviews. If you want to know who to take seriously, one thing you can always do is find people that put more than a slight dusting of whiskey in the bottom of their glass. You're not going to get a very good taste if you don't have at least 2 solid mouthfuls of whiskey. There's really no way to tell you all the complexities of something if you only slightly moisten your tongue with it. So keep an eye out for those if you want to. The first step to separate the newcomers who don't really know what they're doing versus people who know what they're talking about. If they're doing a live tasting, it's not something they've tasted before. Make sure that they're actually drinking it and not just smelling it and putting it in a glass for show. This is very light whiskey, so it's clearly only 2 years old. But it has that characteristic MGP smell to it. There's a lot of citrus on this. It's kind of a candied orange, a lot of lemon zest. It's a very, very attractive scent. It's one of the things that really draws me to some of the better MGP ryes. Just a little bit of vanilla on the bottom of that. I don't really get a lot of oak. But it is very fruity. So that MGP characteristic really carries through on this. It is very, very citrusy. There's a lot of candied fruit on this, and it is a bright citrus, lemon, orange, or there's some apricot. A little bit of apple. And the finish, it's a little bit dry. It's kind of medium in length. Just a slight hint of oak comes through on the tail end of that. But the rye pepper makes its appearance on the finish. It's not really on the palate so much as it is on the finish, and it's very pleasing. All in all, I'm actually very impressed with this. This is a lot better than I expected for a 2-year-old rye. This was blended at Castle and Key Distillery, the former Old Taylor Distillery. Very historic. It's kind of coming back from the graveyard right now. So we're pretty excited about that, and they've done a very good job blending this. This is actually one of the better 2-year-old ryes I've had in quite some time. It's just a little on the young and thin side. If this was 3 years old, I think it would be one of the better 3-year-old ryes I've ever had as well. But at even 2 years old, this is something that I would probably kind of reach for. Again, there's a lot of MGP ryes on the market. Some of them are very good, some of them are very bad, and it really depends on the presentation. This is a very good presentation. This is going to score somewhere between an 88 and a 90. And you know, if I were giving it a sliding scale, if you were in college, this would probably be like a 92 or 93, because I can't believe it tastes as good as it does at 2 years. If you're going to match this up against a 4 or 5-year rye, it's probably not going to carry its own weight. But as far as 2-year ryes go, it's one of the best that I've had from MGP, if not the best. It's pretty darn good. Again, I would probably say 87, 88 is probably the final word on this, and at $37 and at 2 years old, this is a really good option for you, especially if you're looking for that really characteristic fruit and citrus from MGP. So check it out. And if you like our videos, please support us at patreon.com/ModernThirst, and check us out at ModernThirst.com. I'm Bill Straub, the editor, and thanks for sticking with us, and cheers.